of the energy that I have. I'm excited about our future. I'm excited about the market right now. I'm excited about the industry that we're in. I'm excited about the opportunity to close out today and tomorrow. I'm really excited about it. On Thursday, many of your guys' marketing director runs are starting. And that means May, June, July, becoming a marketing director. And that's always fun to think about when you're sitting in your chairs taking notes. But it's not fun to think about the level of energy that you need to deliver for that. You know, when somebody says, hey, we're pregnant, okay? People are like, oh, wow, congratulations. Really? You know what you're about to have to do right now with that damn thing? You know how much work you got to do? You know how much work you got to do? You ready for that energy? Are you ready for that? I was telling Dan in the other room, I was like, don't have a kid right now, okay? And he's like, Coach, I'm not. I'm not. And I was like, no, really. I got my little 2-year-old girlfriend, Jaden. It's my daughter. Okay, but she's like my girlfriend. She's like jealous. So it's like I have a wife, and it's like I have a jealous girlfriend now. And the next one's even starting to act like it too. And it's kind of like I get in the morning, literally, I get in the morning like this. Because her foot, she's like just like Natalie. She has to have her foot on my back while we sleep, okay? It's like, why are you touching me? Okay, I don't like touching people when I'm sleeping. Okay, so I get closer and closer to the edge of the bed, and here comes the 2-year-old. Okay, because she's still over there right now, and it's a whole nother story. But anyways, so she's still there, and I get up and I have to sneak out. Like I have to sneak out. Okay, like, and it's like when I'm a grown ass man. Why do I have to sneak out of my room? I don't have to sneak out. You're 2 years old. Then shut up. You know what I mean? Like, but no, it's not like that. It's like, I hope she's not mad at me. And then I go get ready. If Jada wakes up and she doesn't see me pretty soon, she's like, and she comes and follows around and she finds where I'm at. I'm either working out of the garage, I'm in the bathroom getting ready or doing something. And then she goes, Daddy. And then she goes, like this. And I'm like, shut up. What do you think you're doing? I'm like, what do I owe you, man? Don't you see everything that you got? But I'm sharing this with you. I'm sharing this with you because I get up and between having family, church responsibilities, teammates, running meetings, and running more meetings, doing more leadership calls, calling and motivating 20-year-olds to go after their goals and dreams, reminding married people that they have bills and they better hurry up, okay? Reminding people, like, guys, I spend so much of my time injecting life and passion and energy into people that should be injecting me with it, okay? No disrespect or anything, but I'm the one that's rich, okay? You're the one that goes to a job every day. Why is it that I'm more excited for my goals and dreams when I've already done all of these things? I already maxed out my credit score. I already have a ton of savings. Why am I motivating depressed people in the room? You're the ones that are about to become a millionaire. Why aren't you motivating me? Why aren't you coming in here like, let's go, coach, I'm coming. Let's go, coach, I'm coming. Let's go, coach, I'm coming. Like, why is that? What are we doing here? What are we doing? What are we doing? Like, no, seriously. Seriously. Like, I was even, and I appreciate you. Thank you very much. But like, I'm coming into the room and I'm kind of like, my wife does not need to be here. She doesn't need to fast start anybody anymore. She doesn't need to talk to anybody anymore. My wife could get out and my wife is smoking hot, okay? My wife could just get up and be like, I've got my kids, I got this, I got that. Like, she doesn't need to come here at all. We live right by PGA, man. She can do whatever she wants. She shops, and she does, okay? She really does. But I'm telling you guys this because I'm sitting there and I'm going, why would my wife ever have more energy than the people who are going to be at my wife's level next? Weren't you excited when you got up and there was Christmas time and you saw the presents and you were like, oh my God, I wonder if they got it for me? Even if they didn't come through, you were still excited about it being there, whatever it was, okay? When you had a date on Friday night or Saturday night and you got started dating and you were all into the girl or guy you were going to go sit down with and go meet at a movie or something like that, you probably didn't have your whole life together, but you were so fired up, trying to like look at yourself again, you know, smell yourself, put on that shirt that you know you look good in. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm talking about, where you wear that shirt again. You know what I mean? You're like, this shirt is the one, I know I look good in this shirt. And you know you got excited? That's not your wife. That's not your husband. You're not rich yet. You're not doing this. But you know what? You were excited about what was possible. So you went on the date and you were excited. You're like, maybe we get to kiss each other. Maybe we get to hang out together. Maybe something more. Maybe all this. Maybe that. You know, when you're excited an appointment, when you go to an appointment, do you not think your license works? How many apps have you ever filled out and sent in where they didn't pay you? Every time. Every time. Every freaking time. And it's like, but I don't have money. You have a license. What are you thinking? Why are you so depressed? You have the license. You sell the most financial freaking products in the country. So like, things are disconnecting right now. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes I'm like, I sit there and I go like, do they, okay, either A, they don't think the insurance industry works, which if you're in Dallas, you can't think that. Have you seen State Farm's Behemoth by the 75? Have you seen Liberty Mutual at Legacy West? It's 1 million square feet for the people that process apps. It's not for the salespeople. It's for the processors. It's for the IT department. Those are the support function of the people that sell that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sitting there like, do you think that's a facade? You think that that's a trick? You think that that's a bully? You're still listening to your broke family members and friends telling you, I don't know about your business. Well, Liberty Mutual, do you talk about that? You talk about State Farm? You talk about farmers? Oh, because you're not sitting in one of those towers and have your 401k and your health insurance paid for, that somehow you're illegitimate? What are you talking about? Of course it's ridiculous. It doesn't even make any sense. Either you don't, maybe you don't believe in the office. Maybe you don't believe in this. By the way, if you're a guest in the room and you're watching, we're just excited people, okay? We're just excited people, all right? I can't stand. Oh my God. I can't stand it. I'm serious. Please, thank you. Please, thank you. These are not paid actors, man. These are not paid actors. By the way, guys, all of this is in a positive vein, okay? I'm not mad at anybody. But I walk by some people and I'm like, why do you look like that? Why do you sound like that? What's wrong with you? Why are you excited? Like, guys, I'm going to show you a couple things here that is going to change, I hope, it's going to change your perspective a little bit on your life. Because sometimes I think you're too damn spoiled. Like, you live with your mommy still. I want you to know, if you're over 18 and live with your mother, you're doing something wrong. It's not right. It's not good. You should be urgent, and you should be excited to get out of that. You shouldn't be mad at your mom. You shouldn't be mad at your dad, and you shouldn't be depressed. You depress me just looking at you sometimes. If you're in your 40s and 50s and you didn't make $20,000 in this business last month, you're doing something wrong. And your job at these meetings is to find out what the F it is. And then you change and then you do it. That's your job. That is your job. Your job is not to wait for me to motivate you. Pretty soon I'm going to be off this stage and I'm never going to talk to you again. I am not going to hang out with people that don't want to achieve their goals and dreams. I'm not going to hang out with negative Nancys and little sorry little babies. No. And by the way, you made yourself that. I didn't. I'm not calling you something that you're not. You act like that. Like from the very beginning when I walked in here today, man, I was fired up for today's meeting. And I'm walking around and I'm looking, I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. And they're like, you're the average of the 5 people you hang around with the most. And I was like, oh my God. I was scared to death to talk to people today because I'm like, why is your back on the chair? If you're carrying 10 or 20 pounds extra, you really shouldn't be leaning backwards. You really should be starting to drink more water. You need to start leveling up your energy level. Nobody does business with people that can't have this type of energy. Okay? Nobody. And I don't care. You could be 5 feet tall, 6 feet tall, or 7 feet tall. You could be black, white, Hispanic, or Asian, or whatever. You could be gay or straight. You could be single or married. You could be whatever. But you can't not have energy. Nowhere. No way! I'm not hearing it. No! La 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 la. No! Like, I grew up in an environment where it was an expectation. It was not a request. That's right. It wasn't something where they're like, what we'd like for you to do is, no, it was like, kid, you show up to this office and you don't jack us up, get the F out of here. That's right. Okay? But sometimes, somewhere along the way, I don't know if it happened during censorship. I don't know if it happened during COVID. I don't know if it happened during the great wave of or whatever the hell it was. But I just want you to know, I will fight it tooth and nail. I am not going to be around it. I am not going to subscribe to it because that is not what our ancestors did for us to get us here. Okay? You like carrying a phone in your pocket. You like, walking around with clothes. There were family members that we had a generation or two or three or four ahead of us that paved the way for us to have technology, that paved the way for us to have suburbs, for us to pave the way. Guys, some of you guys in minority communities, there are people that really paid a price so that you could show up to an office, get licensed, come into this country, do whatever you got to do. And I'm looking at it like, man, I grew up around mostly minority groups. I grew up mostly around uneducated people. I grew up mostly around people that rented that didn't buy. I grew up mostly around divorced families than people that had mom and dad still in the house. I grew up around that, and there was one thing that I knew, no matter what, that if I didn't come with it with my energy and I didn't come with it with my attitude, I had no chance at being successful. We've been saying attitude. We have been saying attitude since I was 5. Okay? Schools when I was a kid was like, make sure you have a good attitude, even if I was like this in school. Oh, God. If I have to hear this again. I just want you to know, I wasn't a fired up kid when I was growing up, but I at least heard it. I at least knew that I was supposed to do it. I didn't always do it. I like to be like, why do I have to be excited today? I did it too, but not when I was getting licensed in a profession, wearing a suit, being around other adults making money. That's right. Let's go. I did that when I was a child. And when I was a child, I rolled my eyes. When I was a child, I said, no. Just like Jaden does, okay? When I was a child, I said, I don't want to eat that. When I was a child, I did things. I still had punishments for that behavior, but I was a child. And so I did childish things. Now, when you're not a child, you don't do those things anymore. Adults are intelligent enough to know, I am walking into a professional building in West Plano. Yeah, that's right. Do you own a home in West Plano? And if you do, what did you have to do or somebody else that you're married to or your parents have to do to go get that? Yeah. Okay? I promise you it wasn't the level of energy that you typically brought into a room in order to get that level of result. If you came from a poor zip code to be here today, you really have to double down and come with it, okay? You don't get to drive into West Plano and go, all right, what do they have for me here tonight? I'm sorry, it's warm in here. You're taking a chair. Because there's somebody else that we're going to replace with that chair. I promise you, this is the last meeting going into run season, and damn it, I'd rather everybody quit and I start over than to come pull your ass along the way. So I hope you guys know you better deliver. You better deliver. You better deliver. You better deliver. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Wow. And I haven't even gotten started yet. Okay, grab your chair. All right, grab your chair. So my name is Jason Graziani. I'm the proud husband of Natalie Graziani. I happen to love this game. I love what we do. If it wasn't for this business, I would have never read books. If it wasn't for this business, I would have never started smiling. If it wasn't for this business, I wouldn't know how to talk on stage. If it wasn't for this business, I wouldn't know how to walk up to somebody confidently. If it wasn't for this business, I wouldn't get to park my car at the valet and know everybody's name. And they put my car in the front because they know who I am. If it wasn't for this business, I wouldn't be eating at Legacy West. If it wasn't for this business, I wouldn't own a house and prosper. If it wasn't for this business, Natalie would never have married me. Okay? If I was in this business, there's so many other things. By the way, guys, I could have been drinking. I could have been on drugs. I could have been in jail. I could have been hanging out with the wrong people. That could have, all of those things. I have a lot of friends that didn't make it. That part. I have a lot of friends that didn't make it. I have a lot of friends that messed up. I had a lot of friends that did something where it was like, uh-oh, shoot, you're not going to believe what happened to such and such. I had a lot of friends that stuff happened to. And you know what? Sometimes I sat there and wondered, why did that stuff happen to me? Like, guys, there were nights, I won't get into the details, but there were nights where it was like, I happened not to be there at that particular meeting. I happened not to be there at that particular meeting, right, that night. And my friends got in trouble. Big trouble. Big trouble, like probation trouble and more of that type of trouble. And it was like, man, if I was there in the car, that would have been me. I could have been there. And thank God, like God had a plan, like not to be there. There was car accidents that I was in when I was in high school and college. I flipped off the road multiple times. I've been in 4 total cars and I wasn't the driver. I mean, it's not like I'm a black cat though or anything like that. Don't get on my case. Maybe I'm bad luck or something, but people messed up. And like all of a sudden, something that could have been fatal, it wasn't fatal. And many of you guys in this story, you have stories where like that one night something bad happened, or a drunk driver didn't hit you, or that arrest didn't happen, or that fight, you didn't get this or didn't get this. Guys, sometimes people get crazy with each other, hit somebody, next thing you know, somebody really gets hurt, and now they're going to jail. Now it's aggravated manslaughter. Now it's all kinds of different things. I share this stuff because we're all humans. We all go through this stuff, but here we are. Here we are. And this group of people, I guarantee you, we wouldn't all be friends in high school. Okay? Like, look around. All right? You think this would have been our lunch group? Okay? Are you kidding me? Like, look around. Like, a few of us would have been kicking it with each other. But there's some other people who would have been like, really, you? Hell no. There's some people in the room that was like, you probably had a lunch pail. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be hanging out with you. Okay? But you know what? That was when we were children. When you're an adult, you know what happens when you're an adult? There's more people that are similar than are different. Every one of us has either parents, a sweetheart, or kids that we want to come through for. Okay? All right? Or there's something about ourselves where we're not confident yet, and we need to build up that confidence. Some of us are battling depression. Some of us are stuck on some substance abuse or something like that, and we're trying to fight through it, and we're trying to get through it. Some of us are looking at our phones too much. Some of us are looking at porn too much. Some of us are doing something bad too much. Some of us can't break certain tendencies or habits. Some people say, I'm excited when I'm at the meeting, but when I get at home, it's like I'm not excited anymore. You know what I mean? It's like I just sit there and I'm like, I just watch TV and I hang out with my girl and I hang out with my guy. And I think that everybody in the office doesn't know it. Come on now. Come on now. I could talk to you for 2 seconds and know exactly what you did the last 3 days. You know why? Because when you're in motion, you feel the motion. If you're at a party and everybody's dancing, you feel it. You don't need to ask, how do you feel right now? You don't need to ask anybody. You feel it. If you're out there on the court and these guys are running and they're sweating and they're tired, you feel it. You don't need to go, are you working out and getting your blood pressure? Hold on, let me check it really fast. You don't need to check anybody's blood pressure. You know people are tired. You know we're sucking down water. You know people are like, it's like LeBron and Luka live the other game. You know what I mean? About to get knocked out of the playoffs by Ant-Man, who's got more what? Energy. That's it. He doesn't have more talent. He has more energy. He has more energy than LeBron and Luka. He's got more energy. And he's looking at him and he's like, I'm coming down your throat. And I'm coming into Los Angeles to do it too. And I'm part of the Minnesota Timberwolves. One of the most god-awful, ridiculous franchises in history of sports. Okay? But you know what? They got one person that's excited. And you know what that one person that's excited is doing? It's making Gobert punking LeBron with his elbow now. We would never do that in the past. But when you got Ant-Man hitting those threes, you're like, you know what? I'll take a shot at LeBron. Yeah. What you got? Like, that's what's going on. That's what happens. You know why? Because energy is contagious. It's contagious. And I'm just telling you this. You have no shot of winning in business if you're like, well, that's just not me. And I can't really do that. Give me a break. I know even people like that, when a video game is turned on, oh, God, it's a game. Let's go. Even computer nerds get excited. You don't have to like Ant-Man to get excited, okay? A song comes on where you get jacked up. You know what I'm talking about, where everybody stops and they do one of these and they get excited. My point is this. It's not my job to energize you, although if you're going to be around me, you're going to be jacked up, okay? It's my job to remind you to find what energizes your punk ass and do it. That's my job to remind you of that stuff. That's my job, okay? That's my job. That's my job. That's my job, okay? That's my job. Especially when I look and I'm like, Give me a break. Beautiful. Thank you, baby. Especially when I'm looking around. Then, thank you, baby. Looking beautiful right now, baby. All right, thank you. Okay. You're like, babe, don't give me attention right now. This was supposed, babe, you can't show up and not be noticed. Everyone look at Natalie real fast. Okay. Natalie real fast. It's the only one I could do it to and not get in trouble, babe. I'm right here. I'm locked. Okay. Okay. Let me give you guys a couple things that we have going on. Really excited. First of all, we just had orientation come out. Raise your hand if you just came out of orientation class. Okay. All right. Okay. Why don't you, by the way, why don't you guys just pop up real fast? Stand up real fast. Stand up real fast. I want to just say, hey, let's welcome our new associates. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Welcome. I'm just getting started. Okay. All right. So our associates dropped, but orientation, you guys can stay standing because I want to make sure to welcome you guys. Orientation, you guys can stay standing. It's okay. I'm not going to do anything crazy. All right. So here's what I want.